Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Scrotitis Plays Minecraft. How you guys doing? We're back out here at our swamp base with our alchemy labs and our wood chopper upper and our witch farm. And I decided that today's episode we were going to work on our witch farm and try to bump up the production here. I've been doing some pretty heavy caving in the area, trying to light up all those extra nooks and crannies that have been killing my rates here, and then we're lighting up the surface and everything. But as you can see, we tore down the structure that we had going before, and we've got some netherrack just holding these witches in place temporarily. I was experimenting with the height of these platforms. I kind of redid those. And I think I've got it optimal now so that both levels produce witches at a high rate. So that's a good thing. We just need to replace these now with half slabs. The plan is to do one of those fancy moving floors. I'm sure you guys have seen them on different channels. If not, hey, stay tuned because we're going to be covering it here. But what we're talking about is we've got pistons on either side of the floor. One side extended, one side contracted, and then we have a trip line that runs across. When something spawns on the block below it, it triggers the pistons, one side to push, the other to contract, which moves the half slabs. And you use half slabs on the top side so that mobs can still spawn, but so that when they move, whatever is on that block will pass down through it. And it works for mobs, items, pretty much anything. If you have a half slab or a transparent block, like, for example, glowstone you could use. Now, obviously, for a mob spawner, glowstone wouldn't be the optimal block solution because glowstone would produce light and would prevent the enemy mobs from spawning. So we're going with the spruce wood half slabs and the pushing pistons from either side. I've been collecting lots of string. There's an abandoned mine shaft down below that I have just been raiding to get enough string to be able to pull this off. Hopefully I have enough. But right now, didn't mean to do that. Right now, I just want to clear out all this netherrack that I had to block the light levels and test my new platform heights and everything. So we're just sort of prepping everything up here. Once I get this done, I'll meet back with you when we're ready to do some serious work, all right? All right, so we got tons of work done here, guys. We got all that space cleared out, and we've got our first level. Actually, we've got both levels of our half slabs put down. This is what we're looking at right here, and this is a little test setup of what we're looking for our overall goal. All right, we're gonna attach these two trip hooks that we have, and then we'll go over what the wiring situation looks like and how this is actually going to work. All right, so it's a little bit tricky getting these string across. You gotta look for those little frame lengths, and there we go. You hear the click? We've got it connected. All right, so let's show you the wiring real quick. We've got an item hopper clock here. All right, so that's going to pass that item back and forth. And actually, let me show you from this side first. So we got our item hopper there. Above that block is a redstone block. Okay, that's going to prevent that clock from firing back and forth. Okay, and that's a good thing. We only want that to fire when we tell it to. This piston is going to run off that clock. That comparator is going to get the signal from our hopper clock, just like we've done tons of times. But this redstone block is preventing it from moving. The only thing that will allow it to move will be when this trip hook is triggered. That'll extend the piston, which will then move the block off of the hopper clock. Then the lapis will move back and forth. The comparator will have a signal to pulse the piston on and off. Same setup on the opposite side, except there we go. We have a 2 repeater delay. And what that'll do is that'll allow this piston to fire on every off time that the other side fires, because when a trip line's hooked, both sides will get the signal at the same time. It's just a matter of when that signal gets through to the piston. All right. And there's a test. Perfect. We had one line set up, and it worked. I wasn't sure if it was going to. I thought maybe we'd have to get 2 or 3, but let's give it another go. We trigger it, and yeah, see if we're not directly over top. There we go. And it fires. And as long as the mob is holding that signal or tripping the trip hook, there's a constant redstone signal that's sent. It's not a pulse. It's not a click click. It's a click. It's like a pressure plate, basically. When pressure's applied, it sends a signal until it's no longer applied. So that's our setup. We need to repeat this all the way down this side, and then also above this. So quite a lot of material is going to be needed to get this working, but I think it's worth it. Okay, so we're trying to get this all wired up. I think I've almost got it all, and I think that did it. Is that the last one? Yeah, that was the last one we needed. So we've got our base level wired up. We repeated the exact same design that we had prior. Let me just show you what it looks like from the behind. The redstone blocks actually look really cool together. And I decided to go with the blue stained clay blocks. They look kind of purple, but I like the color offset here. And then obviously we need to repeat that on the next level above it so that we get optimal amount of spawning for witches. 2 levels. But as you can see, this still works without a problem. And underneath, we're still kind of figuring out what we need to do. I need to fill in a good amount of space here so that it works. Let me just try to get out. Okay, that works. If you run diagonally across it, I guess you can get out without much of a problem. It's good to know. If I ever get trapped in my witch spawner, I know to go diagonal. But yeah, you can just see all the redstone working in tandem, and that pulse is actually long enough to send a back forth from the piston. So basically 4 pushes from just one brief tripping of what those trip lines. So it's an effective system. I really like the way the design looks so far. Hopefully I can optimize this and sort of go along with what we've been trying to do, which is functionality and looks. So I'm going to go ahead and get working on this a little bit more. That was just a real quick status update. So sit tight, guys. I will get back to work and check back in with you once we've got a little bit more going. All right? Sounds good. See you on the flip side. Okay, we're back, and we've, I believe we situated this drainage area, the bottom where the witches are going to drop and be funneled down into this center block. I don't know if you noticed, we had a bit of an X situation or a T situation in the middle. Since we've decreased the size of this center room, we've able to actually hook this up to being just one spot. And the flow will work out perfectly to push the witches into the middle. One of the problems that we were having before with the water stream, since we had that outside stream that pushed to the corners, before they got down to here, I had a lot of issue with the, oops, I knocked a block out that side there. We need to take care of that real quick without falling. Okay, whew. One of the issues was that the water streams weren't mapped out properly, so the mobs were able to fight it. And before falling, so the slower that they fall and get to this point, the oh, here I go. I can't talk and do something at the same time. Maybe we'll get out of here. If not, maybe we'll just be stuck in here until the witches start coming. Oh, jeez. All right, I guess we'll have to wreck it a little bit so we can get out. Anyway, we should do it. Can I get over here? There we go. All right. So what was I saying? Oh, right. That we were having troubles before with the, oh man, I am just breaking this thing all over the place trying to get out of that hole. But hopefully we don't have to go back. Am I going to have to go down there to break this? Oh, jeez, this is just painful. I'm going to have to get this string put back in here, all for a dirt block. But the problem is if I don't get rid of this dirt block, witches will get stuck on it, and that's no good. So let's finagle our way down here and get it. See, this is what I get for trying to talk and do something at the same time. It's like walking and chewing bubblegum, right? Alright, so we've got our first spawn level done. We've got our drainage ditch underneath done. And also, guys, if you take a peek at the top, we've got, let me actually just patch this up real quick. There's our wood blocks from our entry. There we go, that and that. Perfect. So, yeah, we've got our top level done too, guys. Let's come over here and get a view of it. There's a random block here. There we go. I know we've got a lot of string that we've got to replace, so I'm just trying to get all of the proper half slabs in place, and then I'll come back through with the string in a minute. But it looks pretty good. We've got both levels wired up. Now, obviously, we got to get rid of the torches because they're preventing some spawns from happening, but I like the way it looks so far. I used that clay to extend the color up, sort of brighten up the area and bring a different feel to it. And then we also use these half slabs to put some of our redstone work on. So I'm thinking about doing something like this to sort of block light and add a little bit of a modern feel and design. The dark wood with the stone slabs. I don't think I like it this way, though. I'm thinking maybe if we put the wood slabs on the bottom and the stone half slabs on top, that might look a little bit better. I've been really motivated and inspired to build with a modern feel. It seems like a lot of people on different Minecraft servers on YouTube and stuff, they've been showing a lot of modern looking things, and I think the stained clay blocks really kicked that movement off, but it's really something that I like, and so don't be surprised if you see me sort of floating that way as well. But yeah, well, let's try a little bit of a design thing here that I think is going to look good. It's, like I said, sort of a modern feel with these half slabs sort of doubling up on one another. We might actually go with this. I think it will work out for the better. Yeah, I like this. So let me go get some string and patch up those holes, and then we'll get to work on this a little bit more. All right, so I went and I rounded up some string. We're going to patch up our holes, and hopefully we'll be good to get going here. I think we may have gotten it all. Is there one or two on this side? Yep, these two are not connected. So where do we have to? There we go. There's one. And here's a little cheat to be able to tell. If you see that outline right there, when they need connected, it's sort of a thick, chunkier frame for the string, whereas opposed if it's connected, it's a very thin framework on it. So that sort of lets you know that if it's connected completely all the way to the trip hooks, I guess it's like a string being pulled tighter, or the blocks being pulled tighter, so it's skinny, as opposed to if it was big and loose, it's not connected. So that's kind of a way to think about it and sort of help you let you know if you've got your string hooked up properly or not. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and keep putting these blocks down. I think this is going to work and look pretty good. I don't think we have to worry too much about any lighting that we've got going on. I think most of it is going to work out well. It should be dark enough for the witches to spawn. The overhang actually is dark enough. We don't really have to worry about blocking light from the sides. If you recall before, we didn't block any lighting from that design, and we had decent mob spawns. I think the main contributor to us not having excellent rates is that the caves need lit up still, and the surrounding areas aren't mob-proof yet either. A lot of trees, a lot of shadows, a lot of land that's not lit up or waterproofed. So we also, since we're in a swamp, we have to remember we have to slime-proof as well. So that's what we're working on right now, and I think that side looks great. All right, so we're here on the other side now. We're going to repeat that same pattern that we did over there on the back side. And I'm thinking that I might go ahead and do a little bit of a 80s music montage for you guys. Who doesn't work better when there's music, right? So let's go ahead and kick it off with an oldie but a goodie that I played on the channel quite a lot. Hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go. All right, guys. So that was the build up top. I think we got it looking pretty good, almost where we want it. So now the last thing to do is to test it out and see how it's working. So I emptied out the chest because the only way to really test is to leave it empty and see what we actually gain from new drops from this point going forward. So that's what we've got. But with our new get up, what we're going to do is we're going to pop in some hoppers. And we're going to clear out this water in these fence posts. We don't need it anymore. When we originally built the system, we needed the water to move the item because we didn't have a lot of iron to be putting down tons of hoppers. But obviously, since then, we developed the iron golem farm, and we've got iron coming out of our ears at this point. So we can go ahead and sacrifice, what will it be, 15 iron blocks, I think, or 3 hoppers, so that we can just move these items right up into the system here. And actually, that clock over to the side is a bit antiquated as well. I could get rid of that if I wanted to, but we'll just leave it for the time being. This episode's actually getting a little long, and we still got some work to do. What? Well, I'd say that the witch factory is working, wouldn't you? Holy cow, I just had 2 drop on my head. Okay, so anyway, what we're doing now is just filling in the old design of our witch drop, which was, sorry about too many witches in that sentence, we had the plus sign because the waterways were coming from much further out, and to move the witches in, we had to allow a larger drop space. We've corrected that, and made way for just a single width drop for the witches, which will actually allow them to flow into that filtered area much better, and they should drop a lot quicker too. We discussed that a little bit earlier. And actually, I wasn't filling in this front piece either. I'll have to get the rest of that from the bottom, but that's not supposed to go there. But yeah. So we're just going up. Wood is the block that we have the most of at this point because of our wood farm. So we're just going to be filling this all in with wood. And actually, oops, I'm going to kick on some night vision here for you guys. Didn't realize that this was going to get as dark as it is with that torch, but I don't really see the point to laying down another one. So let's just put a little drop protection there for myself. We'll put that block down. So when we get to the top, oh, I have more wood. Okay, we got lots of wood still. We're getting close because there's the water drips coming down on us. And, oh, all right, here we are. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And let's put a block here. We'll get these last 2. And we should be good. Let's go ahead and drop this one. And, oh, and this is too far. I don't believe it. All right. Well, anyway, I guess the good thing is we don't have to worry about our items despawning because we fell on a hopper that's attached to a chest. So all of our stuff will be waiting for us down there in either the hopper system or the chest. But well, that was unexpected to say the least, right? Let's go ahead and head down there and go collect our goodies. And actually, I think we're pretty close to the end here, but let's just tidy everything up and make sure we don't have any loose ends. So let's talk about the series a little bit. I had some thoughts about maybe rebooting my world when 1.7 comes out because of the new biomes. I want your guys' feedback on that. I don't know if the changes would be great enough to impact, because if not, if I left the world as is, oh, look at that. There is still stuff out that didn't make it into the hopper. That's pretty crazy. Is there stuff in here from me? Oh, it's still processing, so yeah, it is kicking up stuff. All my iron and armor, but we'll let that keep going. But like I was saying, I was thinking about rebooting this world And I wanted to know what you guys felt about that, if you felt that would be a waste or if that would be something welcomed. So leave your comments on this one, or shoot me a message on the Twitter feed, Scrotitis Plays, or www.twitter.com/Scrotitis Plays. That's it. Still try to check that daily. I haven't got a lot of traffic on there recently, but we're still on there checking it out. All right, so I think we've got everything back. I don't think we lost anything from that fall. And by wrapping that tunnel up, I think that should about do us here, guys. Okay, so real quickly, I was going to end the episode there, and I actually did record a closing, but I thought we'd do a quick look around here of the final product. And I did also, without you guys, I threw in some steps down below. I don't know if you guys saw that on the inside. On the pushing pistons for the platform, I put some steps backwards to sort of, in the case that a mob would try to get up out of there, they're sort of blocked. So I'm just giving you the 360 view here. We put these little designs on the ends. I really like the way this build turned out. Like I said, I've been inspired by what the guys have been doing on YouTube, what some of the channels that I watch. Really good stuff, and I think I carried over some of that here. But I'm going to continue working on this island, lighten up all the tunnels, and I'm actually going to start doing some terraforming as well, off camera, because it's pretty tedious, unless I happen to stumble across some TNT. But otherwise, I'll just be doing that myself. Plus, we need the blocks because I've got a big project coming up. In the end, I want to start building there. Since we took care of the Ender Dragon, I want to get our Ender up, and I want to get our library up, and I want to get our awesome enchanting room up. And I got some pretty cool ideas for sort of a palace area there. Something pretty large and grand, regal. Some good ideas there. So let's actually head down one last time before the end of the episode, and we'll check out. It's been a little bit of time since I went down and cleared out that chest. So I want to see how our witch spawning has been doing for us. And see what sort of drop efficiency we have. Like I said, I do eventually want this just to be mass producing. What do we all get here? We get redstone, we get gunpowder, we get glowstone. We get all sorts of good stuff. Sticks, bottles for our alchemy. Just so much. So, and there you go. Proof's in the pudding. It's only probably been about, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, and I've already gotten a good amount of stuff. And I've got a lot of lighting to do still. So that's actually going to do it for us here today, guys. This has been another episode of Scrotitis Plays Minecraft. I want to thank you guys all for your support. Keep your comments coming, the likes coming on the channel. You guys keep supporting me, and we'll keep getting the videos out for you guys to enjoy. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I will check you all in the next episode. We will see ya.